Hey guys, welcome back. Now in this episode of Technobabble Answers, I'm going to focus on email accounts, alright? How you can protect your email accounts from being hacked. Now, I actually didn't get a question through an email from anybody, but I get asked this question a lot, right? From friends, from families, even colleagues as well. They keep asking me this question. So I thought for this video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 things that you can do to protect your email account from being hacked. So let's start with number 5, okay? And number 5 is obviously pick a good password. Now, I know that, in this day, everyone's using the internet, everyone's online. You have so many different accounts. It's really difficult to have separate accounts and really keep track of all your passwords. So a lot of people use the same password for a lot of different accounts all over the web, right? And I understand that, but if you really want to protect yourself, it's really important that you have strong passwords and also try to keep them as different as possible, right? And now, why is this important? Now, one of the most popular methods of hacking into someone's account, it used to be the brute force method, but now a lot of hackers are using what they call credential stuffing. And I spoke a bit about this in my video on Zoom accounts and how to keep your Zoom account secure. So I'll put a link to that in the description below as well. But basically, to sum it up, credential stuffing means that hackers would buy accounts that have been hacked from previous hacks. They will buy it off the dark web and they would use that account username or email and the password and try it on a whole bunch of different other services. So why does this work? Now, because a lot of people, including myself before, I would just have one password for all the different services that I have online because it was just so much easier. The problem with that is, if let's say, for example, my Dropbox account got hacked, okay? And I use the same password for my email, for Facebook, and whatever other service, Instagram, all they have to do is take that account, that email, that password they've been used and try on all the other different services. And if they find one that works, you're in. The hacker's in, and this is really that easy. Now, over the years, there have been many hacks, even some of the big names like Amazon, I think Dropbox as well. They've all been hacked before and a lot of account information was stolen, all right? So how do you know if your account has been affected? Now, very simple. There is a website called haveibeenpwned.com and I'll put the link in the description as well. All you have to do is just enter the email address that you want to check and it will tell you that if it was affected by any of the other hacks in the last few years. So if you check your email account and you realize that, oh no, it's been information was stolen from one of the previous other hacks, and you use that same password for your email account, whatever, immediately change your password. This is the very first step that you can do before we even talk about the other guides that I have for you. Okay, and number 4. Now, number 4 is also make sure that you have a good antivirus program. Now you may be wondering, what has an antivirus got to do with my password? Now, there are many ways that your information can be stolen, not just by credential stuffing, not just by brute force. You can install or click something online that you didn't mean to. It can install a virus or malware on your system, and then it can also retrieve information through like keylogger programs and all that, and then it can actually get your email account as well, or your email password. So that's also important. Although I would say credential stuffing and all that it's a much more popular way. These kind of viruses still are rampant around the world and they still happen. So I would say make sure that you got a good antivirus software installed. All right. Number 3. Now, number 3 is kind of linked to number 4. Now, basically, if you get a suspicious email, and by suspicious I mean that I can't really explain, but basically it doesn't look right, where the text looks weird, or you're not quite sure, even if it looks legit, but you're not sure if it's legit, don't open any attachments, don't click any links, don't forward it to anyone. This is one of the most common ways that your information can be stolen, your account can be locked, all right? Now, what are some of the ways that you can check or you can see in the email to give you a clue that it might be a phishing attempt or spam email, or it might have a virus inside? Now, one of the first things, and I used to get this kind of emails a lot. I would get fake email from Apple, from Amazon, even PayPal, and it will say that, oh, my card was just used for this purchase and that purchase. 2 things. Number 1, a lot of these emails tend to have really bad English for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. So the first thing, if you realize some grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, obviously they are bad emails, spam emails, and that kind of thing. The big companies, Amazon, PayPal, all this, they're not going to have that sort of errors in their email. So that's one thing that you can check. Now, what if the email looks legit? No, there are no spelling errors, grammatically it's perfect, all the pictures look good. Another thing that you can check or just double confirm is look at the domain name of the sender's email. So if, let's say for example it was Amazon, make sure that at the end it says amazon.com. Sometimes you would see it's an Amazon email, but then if you look at the domain, it's not an Amazon domain. When I say domain, I mean like with the @ sign and then the domain.com. So amazon.com, hotmail.com, gmail.com, that kind of thing. So sometimes it will be like helpamazon.com or something. So those are fake domains that created by the hacker. So that's another indication. Now, I'm sure there are emails that look really good. Sometimes the domain can look really good, but then they can still be, what do you call that? They can be emails from hackers. So it is really hard sometimes to pick them out. So the best thing I would say, if you're still not sure, if let's say it's from a big company and you're not sure, contact the company, contact Amazon, contact PayPal and ask them if this email is legit. This is really, really important and don't take it for granted. And if you're not sure, just don't delete the email and don't open anything and don't click on any link. Okay, so number two. Now number two is really, it's very simple as well. Just get a password manager. So what's a password manager? A password manager is a program that you can download that helps you store your passwords for all your different accounts like Netflix, your email account, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. It encrypts them on their servers, and then all you have to do is just remember a master password that you can set for the program, okay? And then from there, it helps you even choose a password. You can generate a really strong password for you. You don't have to remember it because you use the password manager to enter the passwords on the different sites. Now, these programs are actually really, really good, and I do use them sometimes. The one that I use is a program called Keeper, and so far it's been really, really good. The flip side of it is that a lot of the really good ones are all paid programs, so you have to pay, and a lot of times it's not like a one-off payment where you just buy the program. A lot of them are all subscription based, which is basically the fad nowadays for all programs. But the good thing about Keeper is, well, back when I first got it, I don't know whether they still have the program now, whether they still have this offer now, but you can either pay monthly or you can buy a lifetime license, right? Which is what still, I think I paid like $150 US. So it's a lot of money. So yes, this is a really good tool that you can have, but you have to think about whether you're willing to invest or whether it's even worth to invest that kind of money for such a program. Okay, and we're down to number one. Now, number one, I would say, is the most important. In fact, I would say the two most important are number 5 and number 1. Number 5 obviously being to make sure you have a good password. Now, number 1 is to use two-factor authentications in your email account. Now, the biggest ones like Yahoo and Gmail, they all have two-factor authentication. If you don't use Yahoo or Gmail, just check your settings and see if you have this option. Now, what is two-factor authentication? Well, two-factor authentication basically means that there are 2 levels of verification before you can log into your email account. So the first one is your password, and the second one can either be an OTP that is sent via SMS, or if you download an authenticator program. Now, Google has an authenticator program, Microsoft has one as well. You can use that on your phone, and then it would pop up and ask you if that's really you trying to log in. Click yes, and you're in. Now, this to me is the best one of all the 5. I would say is really, really important. Why is that? Because it's very easy for a hacker to get your email account nowadays, especially if you use the same password for all your services. But on your phone, it's very difficult, I would say almost impossible for them to find a way to hack your phone. So I would say it's very unlikely for both to be hacked by the same hacker. So at the same time, make sure that your phone is safe as well. If you want to install an antivirus on your phone, go ahead. Even I don't really do that. But I'm actually speaking from experience. Now, my Yahoo account actually got hacked before, and then I changed my password, and then I added two-factor authentication. And once I did that, one of these days at night, I was just playing some games, and then I got a two-factor authentication pop-up saying that I was trying to log in from Belarus. Okay, so probably that's where the hacker is. So obviously I tapped no, and it was that easy. All right, so two-factor authentication is so important that I would say, yeah, definitely number 1. Now, if you like this video, you know what to do. And if you have any other questions related to any of this, feel free to drop me an email or just drop a comment below. And if a lot of people ask me the same question, I'll do a video about it. So yep, I'm JP and I'll see you real soon.